All right, so let's get ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky in here. Rob, what do we know about the vaccination status of Rodgers at this point?
For more than a month, Aaron Rodgers and the NFL went back and forth about whether he should be considered a vaccinated player. Sources told me that Rodgers underwent an alternative treatment before training camp this year that he argued was equal to vaccination. Now, shortly before the regular season opener, the league ruled against him and considered him unvaccinated. Now, if you'll remember, at the time in training camp, we asked Rodgers whether he was vaccinated, and he used the word immunized, saying, yeah, I have been immunized. We asked Packers coach Matt LaFleur today whether that was misleading, and he said, well, that's a question for Aaron. The one thing LaFleur did say is that he is confident all players and coaches, whether vaccinated or not, have followed the league protocols while in the building, saying, quote, we have cameras everywhere.
More from Rob coming later, and as LaFleur mentioned, trying to check in with Aaron Rodgers. He's not spoken yet, but here's a reminder of the NFL's protocols for unvaccinated players. They must undergo daily testing, wear a mask indoors, and when near others. Physical distancing is required, and if they have a close contact with someone who has COVID-19, they're required to undergo a 5-day quarantine. Key, what do you make of the situation at this point?
You threw it to me real quick on that one. Here, take it, Key. Run with that one. Look, hey.
I'm already.
Yeah, that one. Woo.
Guys, we got
hot.
news today,
No, this
all
one
right?
is hot.
We got to go.
Here's what I would say, Laura. Either you vaccinated or you not. And if he's not, then this is a situation, and these are the cards that you and your team are dealt. Now, that's one thing. The other thing on it is just tell us, what's the big deal? Okay? Either you are or you not, man. And we're not going to judge one way or another. I think what you got to think of with people that are not vaccinated, you're not just this is not about affecting football. I'm very sensitive to it because there's millions of people across the world that have been affected and passed along, and you may not even have known that you passed it to them. Now, with that being said, just because you vaccinated doesn't mean you can't contract, because you still can contract it. And then on the other side of things, I think when you look at it, people are not going to scrutinize it nearly as much as probably a Kyrie Irving situation, because these are two different situations. Kyrie's not vaccinated, and we all know that, and we saw the fallout from that. Let's see where this goes from here on out with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it was misleading when he said, yeah, I'm immunized. Like, that's misleading, because I know a lot of people walked away thinking he was vaccinated.
Yeah.
Based on that statement. Like, let's just get that elephant out in the room. And look, to your point, Key, we tedious when we talk about this because it's so political now. It's so many things that's attached when you get into vaccinated, unvaccinated. But the bottom line is this, and like I said, like we've talked about before, there's consequences to both, and you have to deal with them if they come. Now, we can get into how much it means to your team and what you should and shouldn't do. I am never going to sit in a seat and tell a man what he should and shouldn't do. Yeah. All right? But you have to accept the responsibility based on the things put forth by the NFL. All right? And we could be mad about it. We could talk about it. We can go back and forth about it. The NFL decided to put protocols and things in place for vaccinated and unvaccinated players. And based on the situation and circumstances that arise throughout the season, whether you contract a positive COVID test or a negative COVID test, there are things you have to abide by. So you can be mad about it, but this is the way the structure is set up in the league that you want to play in.
Yeah, I think we all deserve to hear from Aaron on this. You know, and exactly for clarification, I'm not going to live in a world where I'm assuming that he knowingly lied and didn't follow protocols. I think we need to hear from the Packers as well in regards to that, because I'm not going to live in a world where you assume that they knew he wasn't following protocol or the team wasn't, and they try to cover anything up. I think we need to hear from that. My mind immediately went to January, because right now it's a regular season game, and you're going to miss a regular season game because of it, and there is next week. There is not next week when it comes to January. It is win or go home. And it is similar to the Kyrie situation in this regards, Key, because in a locker room, like, you can't be happy about it. You can be frustrated with it, but you can't change it. It is his choice. And I think both those things can be true. Is as a player, you can sit there and go, my goodness, we can lose our starting quarterback in January in a playoff game because of this, and not be happy about it, but understand it is not your opportunity to change or make the choice for him. I think that the reality is this, that you, Marcus, you mentioned consequences. The difference is, when you make that choice and there's consequences, in real life, there's also consequences to your teammates as the starting quarterback of the NFL.
100%.
And that is something that is somewhat indifferent to society, is everybody is depending on Aaron to be available. And when you make the choice to increase the opportunity for you not to be available, it's not only just going to impact you, it is going to impact everybody in that building.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.